Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Stop, Look, and Listen. I'm your host, LeTroy Gardner. This week, we have the CEO of Paradox Universe. He's also a writer, producer, filmmaker, singer, songwriter. Has a new movie coming out June 8th, Whispers Bind. We have Joseph Mbah. Welcome to the show, Joseph.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Uh, I've never, I've never been introduced as CEO before, so that was new. I was like,
So,
CEO, wow.
what, they forget that part?
No, it's not a title that I think is because I have not personally claimed that title.
Oh, you got to
Yeah,
claim that. You got to claim the boss
you know,
moves.
yeah, I'm in progress.
Yeah, you representing the branding. Got the Paradox Universe wife beater on.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
All right, so yeah, just give us a little background. Walk us through the humble beginnings. Did you grow up in Nigeria?
I was in Nigeria from age 0 to about 10 years old. Yeah, 10 or 11. I don't quite remember. I came to the United States a year after 9/11.
Hmm.
So that's kind of the atmosphere that I came in America. And um, in Nigeria, I didn't like, I was a creative person, as in, like, I knew I wanted to do something that impacted people's lives. I thought I was going to be an inventor. So that's the path I was going down. And it wasn't until like high school in here in America, like high school senior year, that I eventually decided I was going to be a filmmaker. And it was a weird situation because prior to that moment, I didn't know people made movies. Just as, like, I thought, like, if you go to the store and you purchase an item off the shelf, it was just an item off the shelf. I didn't know people made those products. Or I drove in a car, I didn't know people made products. I didn't know it was a career. So I watch movies, I'm like, it's just there. I didn't know people made movies. Even though the signs were around me the whole time, like, my older brother was an actor. He was in music videos and like MTV, all of this stuff. I had no idea. I was just like, I'm gonna be an inventor. I'm gonna be an inventor, and I kept doing that until senior year in high school. Everyone was like, "Oh no, you got to decide what you want to be. You want to. And then I was trying to figure that. Even though I already decided what I want to be, I'm like, it's clear. Like, I'm gonna go into the military, and then after that, I'm gonna either become a pilot or go aeronautical engineering, and I'm gonna get this degree and then that degree, and then I'm gonna go create that. I was that guy.
Uh
And
huh.
then one day I came home from school, and my mom, we were living in Palm Springs, California at the time, and it was hot. It was like 150 degrees. That's how hot it felt. And she stopped me in the garage, and she wouldn't let me go inside. And she's like, "Son, what you're trying to do and what you've been trying to do, I don't see that that's what God has for you. Like, I see that you are meant to do something different." She's like, "Take the time to search within yourself and just look and see if there's something that you can do that comes naturally to you. It's something that you can do that, like, runs in the family, that's in your DNA, so to speak." So I just paused there in the garage, and I just stayed there for a while. And again, I remember because it was hot, I didn't go inside. And then eventually started to kind of click to me, oh, wait, my uncle is a musician. My other uncle had a record deal. There's a whole family band that I'm a part of, and I've been a part of it since I was a kid. Oh yeah, my older brother. And then, like, my teacher at the time, my English teacher, she was doing this project, our senior year project, and she wanted us to be creative, and she didn't want anything normal. Like, don't just turn in a book report and be done. She's like, do something exciting. So, long story short, I was like, and then I also, at the same time, I had watched the movie SWAT, and for the first time in my life, I clicked the behind the scenes section of the DVD, which I never do. And then watching that, I was like, oh my God, people made this thing. Like, I could just see them, like, constructing it, which I think just spoke to me because, again, I was the construction guy. I was going to build something. So when I realized that people constructed movies, I was like, this is it. So then I went on the journey to construct my very first short film to then satisfy my English year project. And then in doing that, man, I just fell in love with the whole thing. And that short film is as bad as you can imagine that it was. Just put that out there. It was terrible, okay? But as bad as it was, my English teacher was so impressed by the amount of effort we put into making it that she went and got my school principal to come watch it. And seeing that, I was like, wow, I did something. I put effort and people cared. And from there, I was like, this is it. And then that's how I got into this line of work.
Right. So, I mean, I know you said that you came over here when you were 10 or 11 years old. Like, just talk about the culture shock of
Oh,
leaving Nigeria and coming to the so-called promised land. And
bro, culture shock. Okay, so let me paint the picture a little bit here. So growing up in Nigeria, the culture is one way, right? But not only did I come to America, I went to New York City. And New York City, if you've ever been to New York or heard about New York, you know that it's a large melting pot of everybody.
right.
Cultures, different background in one place. And then where we lived was in Queens, a place called Lefer City. So it was like, there's like projects
Yeah,
built
I've heard
for
of it.
different. Okay, man, it was a culture shock. Okay, so let me. Oh man, I've never been asked this before, so thank you. So
Well, let
look,
me give you background. My wife is
okay,
Nigerian. My wife is
ah,
Nigerian. So
okay, got
I've
it.
been to Ibadan
Ah,
a couple years ago,
yep, mm-hmm,
and
yeah,
I
okay,
experienced life in Nigeria for several weeks. So
ah,
that's why I ask you that because I know it from both sides. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, man, it's definitely a culture shock. Like, and then being a kid at that time, like being a kid in Nigeria, there was one thing you don't do. You do not talk back to your parents, right? If your parents said something, you do that. Or else they will smack you, and I don't mean smack you. They will beat you into next week. Like you don't talk back to your parents. So here I am, first 3 days in America. We're walking through through the complex, and I just hear this kid screaming, "F you, F you!" And I turn, thinking, "Oh, maybe he's talking to a friend." He's yelling at his mom, and his mom is not doing anything about it. I was like, "What am I seeing? Oh, how are you still alive? Like, are you okay?" And this kid was just going at it with his mom. So just the way that American just is, it was so different. Like the way you dress, the way you talk. Yes, I thought I spoke English, but we were colonized by the British, so our English is different from American English. Like I would spell things differently. Like even color is spelled different in Nigeria than it is spelled here. So there was so much that is different, and it literally took about 5 years for me to start to understand what it is to be an American. Like it took a long time. So yeah, it was a huge culture shock.
hmm so like, how has that dual perspective shaped your storytelling?
It was the best education I could have hoped for, honestly. Like being like going from Nigeria and being tossed into that melting pot of different cultures was the best education I could have hoped for because it allowed me to soak up different aspects of life so rapidly. And also like New York is a very difficult place to be. Like it is very fast paced. You don't like no one hands you anything. Everything you want, you have to earn, right? Which matched very well to my Nigerian upbringing. Like you have to work hard. So there's a lot about just the hard work and the hustle of being in New York that then kind of braced me and gave me the thick skin I needed for the rest of my journey because as an artist, you a lot of us come into it with like this dreamy eyes like oh my god, I was inspired by this and I want to do this, but then the reality of actually making it in the industry means that you have to be a very tough skinned person who understand business and understand work ethic and hard work, and that is one of the things that New York gave me. And then coupled with the fact that my mom put me in ROTC, so I was just getting trained like back to back, back to back, back to back. It was wild. It was wild.
Yeah, and I must say, like I've never come across a Nigerian, whether it's through my wife or even one of my college roommates, where they weren't bred for success. It's
Mm.
almost like, like you
It's
said, it's almost like it's drilled in you from the beginning that you're going to do something amazing and you're going to get pushed and you will thrive regardless of the
Yeah,
circumstances.
like that is like, if I could distill the Nigerian culture, is that you are bred from the time that you're born, that if you're gonna we're not gonna control, we're gonna suggest what you should do because we've seen it and we see the path to success, but we're not gonna control what you do. But there's one thing you're not gonna do, is you're not about to start something and do the bare minimum. You have to give your all to whatever you choose to. Like my grandfather used to tell my mom, she sing this song weirdly. It's like, anything you want to do, do it well. No one knows tomorrow. He was singing like in the worst way possible. Like, it's just like, whatever you do, better make sure that you are the best at it for yourself. Like there's no in between for a Nigerian. And yeah, that's it.
All right. So just talk about getting your foot in the door. Like, was it trial by fire? You just learned on your own, or how did you
Man,
get great at what you do?
it's still a trial by fire. It's still, I'm still getting my foot indoors. I am like, even up to now. I'm like, man, we have a movie coming out and all of this. It doesn't matter how much stuff you've done. Whenever you try to do the next thing above you, someone is going to tell you no. Like, I literally just happened, and I'm like, okay, so we've done this and that and that, and then here's where I'm trying to go. Sorry, you can't. I'm like, yes, I can. The only, like, where I have gotten is the point where I'm like, I'm gonna go here. This is where I'm gonna go, and there's only two options. Either we go there together, or I'm gonna find a way around, and I'm still gonna go there. And that is, it has been true for the whole ride along. Is that it has been exceptionally difficult, and it has taken more time than I thought to actually crack through and get through the industry. And I've had to be more creative in the business aspect of it, and be more thoughtful and ingenuitive along the way, to even get my foot in the door, to be able to tell the stories that I want to tell. And that is always ongoing. I was talking to someone last week, and I told him, like, you have to be great at negotiate. You have to be aware of yourself, and you have to be aware of what you have available, and you have to be great at negotiating, and you have to, like, there's always a constant give and take, because yeah, someone might say no to you, but it might not mean that it mean exactly no. It means that there are certain things that you haven't met that they're looking for. So you just have to ask enough questions to find what that thing is, see how you can solve that problem, so that you can get your foot in the door, so they can then show them what it is that you are actually trying to accomplish, and then so you could do the thing that you need to do, so you could then take that to go do the other thing. Like, that's been my whole journey. Like, I want this camera. Sorry, you can't have the camera. Why can't I have this camera? Oh, because of this, and that. Okay, so if I go do this, and that, then that means I can have this camera. Yeah, but if you do this, and that would be really difficult. Not your problem. I'm going to go figure out how to go do this, and that. I'll come back to you and then give you that, so you can give me that camera. Here it is. Can I get the camera now? Sure. Okay, awesome. Like, that is the whole, like, my whole life.
Uh-huh.
Crazy. But yeah, that's just, that's the way it is.
All right, cool. So reflecting God's infinite creation in every frame. What does that mean to you?
That to me means, just like hard work is ingrained in us, as Nigerians coming up, God is also ingrained in us. Like, I joke about this. I say, in Nigeria is the one, is a place where, on Friday, we could be throwing punches and cursing each other out, but on Sunday we're both gonna be in the church, and you're gonna go through church, and then you're gonna go home, and whatever that looks like to you, whatever you choose to believe in, faith is always a part of our culture. Like you could go to a club in Nigeria, hear the dancehall records, and then hear a Christian record all at the same place. Like, we don't separate God and faith from what we do. It's just a part of our being. So reflecting God in every frame, to me, is just showing life as it is. Like there's no, to me, there's no difference in life and God, or saying, okay, God is here and then life is here. No, God is in every aspect of our existence as human beings. That's what I believe. So I just choose to reflect that in every story that I tell.
All right, cool. So talk about the creation of Paradox Universe and what are you bringing that Hollywood is missing?
Well, if you asked me this before years ago, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this wonderful thing that no one has ever seen before." But honestly, you know what I'm bringing? I'm bringing myself and my experiences and my imagination. I say that what I bring to the table is my experiences combined with my imagination is what's going to be different than what Hollywood have seen. Because yes, stories are the formulas of telling story is generally the same, but what shapes those stories is my own individual life experiences and my upbringing, and everything we've talked about so far is what makes Paradox Universe stand out, and makes my movies stand out.
So you've had projects land on Netflix, Amazon Prime, and other streaming platforms. Um, when my in-laws come to visit, like they're watching Nigerian content around the clock. Like,
Yep.
so for me, that was a culture shock. I didn't know that there was like like movies and just like endless entertainment catered
Yep.
to like Nigerian or Africans in general. So like um how how can you continue to build on that legacy while also carving out your own niche?
So, like, man, Nigerian, like, Nigerian entertainment is called Nollywood, just like
Mm-hmm.
here's Hollywood, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
it is such a huge industry. It is so big, but those were my early influences. At the same time as I was experiencing Hollywood movies, I was experiencing Nigerian movies at the same time. So I have those blend always like in the back of my mind. And what has happened is then I just have to understand where one starts and where one ends. For example, like I'm writing, and every movie I've made, I just try to continue to refine it. Like I'm writing a movie right now where the main character is Nigerian. He's coming from Nigeria and he's getting that American experience that most Nigerians who have come to America have. But that is something Nigerians understand, but at the same time, I have to tell a story that America and the rest of the world also understand. So it's been an interesting journey to try to fuse those two experiences in a way that is not off-putting to either or. And then that is what I believe is going to, once I crack it and once I become better at combining those two elements, I think that's what's going to give me a voice that's distinct in both markets.
Mm-hmm. As
Yeah.
far as I guess writing, directing, and producing, which one do you feel you're strongest at, and which one do you feel you're weakest at?
I'm strongest at directing and producing,
Mm-hmm.
and I am weakest at writing, and I'm always constantly working to improve that because honestly, if you don't have a good script, you don't have a movie. Like that is the truth. Like it doesn't matter what I can produce and direct all day if the script is bad, the movie is going to be bad. So that is ongoing. But naturally speaking, directing a project and producing, which is like the orchestration, putting all the different elements, the logistics of it, like my mind works well with both of those. And then for the writing aspect, I just have to continue to work on it because writing is lonely. I'm there alone, like for months and months and months, trying to crack a story that makes sense. So it's difficult for me, for sure.
Mm-hmm. What's your
Yeah.
creative process
For writing or in general?
in general?
Well, my creative process is I just live life and I'm open to see what grabs my attention. Like, I believe, God puts things in our path as you're going about your day that can help you get that initial spark of an idea that might change your life. So you just have to I have to be open for when those inspirations come. And then as soon as I get them, I've become better at just taking notes, right? Whether it
Right.
be I take a picture on my phone, write something down, just take notes and then start to workshop and explore it and then do a lot of research. Like research has become such a huge part of my creative process that than it used to be. And I find that the more research I do, the better the stories and the creative endeavors I have are.
Okay. All right. So let's get into Whispers Bind. Like I said, coming out June 8th on Roku, Samsung TV Plus, and Fawesome. Just give us a little synopsis of the story and Without giving too much away, what inspired, the movie?
So Whispers Bind was inspired by the idea of the inner voice. No one knows you better than you know yourself. So if your inner voice knows your deepest, darkest, painful parts of your life, what would that look like if that inner voice became an entity that decided to hunt and ruin your life? And that's essentially what Whispers Bind is.
Okay. All right. So, where did you film it? Did you film it in Phoenix or LA? Where did you?
Yeah, no, we are 1 billion% Arizona based. We
Okay.
filmed it in Phoenix. Like I'll say 99% in Phoenix, and then some other shots around town. But yeah,
Hmm.
I'm in Phoenix. Yeah.
How's the movie or film industry there?
It is small and always growing, but it's very small compared to other markets, which honestly have worked to my advantage. It's been a godsend. Like there's different advantages to being in a bigger market, but then I found that being in Arizona and being in a smaller market allowed me to actually build, because what I'm trying to build and turn Paradox Universe into is not just a movie making career, but I'm actually trying to establish a film studio. Like I've been telling people now, it's like more like A24 or more independent film studio. And to try to build a business like that, having lower costs and expenses has been a godsend, because it allows us to do things that look like they should be more expensive for less. So,
Hmm.
so that's why we're here in Arizona.
Okay.
Dr. Todd McLean provides periodontal and dental implant services in 2 convenient locations. They offer over a decade of experience treating patients, and appointments can even be scheduled in the evenings, weekends, or early mornings. Give them a call in Chapel Hill at 919-537-9774 or in Durham at 919-484-8338, or visit them online at gumsandimplants.org.
For those that are, aspiring filmmakers, uh, looking to get more exposure, for their work, like just share how you were able to get your projects on, like Samsung TV Plus and Amazon Prime and Fawesome and these other platforms.
It is not as pretty as you would think, right? Because when I was hearing about it and I was meeting filmmakers who got distribution, who got like their movies on Redbox, when Redbox was a thing, it just sounds so exciting. But honestly, the process to do it is not pretty. Like it's just gritty work. So for me to get my first distribution, I had to make a movie first, cut the trailer, and then I spent like 3 months. I got an IMDb Pro account, and I just researched every distributor I can find, got their contact, and I would just send in emails every single day for like about 3 months. And I probably sent like 300 plus emails. And eventually I got three distributors who like, yeah, we like the film, want to look at it. Then I started to try to negotiate, and two of them were like, no, sorry, there's no negotiation here. We're just trying to be nice to you. So you know what? We changed our mind. We're done. And then I was left with one. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to negotiate then. What deal do you have for me, sir? you know? And that's how we did our first deal. But because we did the first one, we were able to learn from it and then just try to make a better film. And then the next film, I just repeated that same process. But because we've improved, we were able to get a better deal, get it quicker. And then from there, I've just continued to build on each film and each distribution I've had to just continue to leverage that and keep going. And at this moment, where I've landed is a place where, because I've done so many movies and I've been on several different platforms, I was able to go to a more boutique distribution company, more hands-on, and say, hey, this is my catalog, this is what I've done, and then I'm looking to do X, Y, and Z. So now it's a more direct touch point to those platforms, like to the point where I'm actually internally delivering our movies to this platform. So if my movie's on Roku, I'm not sending it off to a distributor who then sends it off to a delivery lab, and then they do the work. It's like, okay, you got Roku signed on, awesome. I log on to Roku's FTP. I deliver my files exactly the way I intend the world to see the movie, and that's where we've landed. And my next one from there, which is what I'm being told no, is, okay, this time I want to be the one in the meeting who says, hey, here is my movie. How much are you going to pay me for that? That's where I'm going. And now everybody's like, no, you can't do that. You need a middleman. You're still a filmmaker. I'm like, okay, I got it. So I'm like, so what do I need in order for me to be the guy that negotiates my own deals? They're like, well, you need X amount of. I'm like, got it. Say less. I'll be back. You know, so yeah, it's just, you have to start. You just got to start and keep growing.
Right. And
Yeah.
and like finding someone that can speak with such passion about your projects than you is kind of difficult.
It is
I'm
very difficult. And that was, man, I mean, you've touched on a lot of stuff, man. Like, that is the most difficult aspect of it. So for example, I'll keep it completely transparent. When a filmmaker, you made a movie and you're proud of it and it looks the way you want it to look, and you turn it over to a distributor, you know what that actually looks like? It goes to a random lab somewhere who do not care. Your movie is one of 20 he's worked on today. That's it. It's one of 20 movies he's worked on today, and all he's doing is he drag your file, process it, export it, make this tweak, make that tweak, make that tweak, and as long as it passes the test and the QC, it's fine. They don't care about the little fine details of how you want your movie to be presented. So even in the delivery aspect, there will never be anyone who can speak passionately and care so deeply about your movie as much as you do. So yeah, I'm like, let me keep getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer until the point where I'm the person who talks about the film, makes the movie, delivers the movie, and says, awesome.
So one person that you have on your side is your wife, Amber, and she's the CFO of Paradox Universe. I can use that term? That's her title?
Yes, that's fine. Yep. She handles the money.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so just talk about that dynamic and, trying to keep business separated from, personal, and whether you use the relationship as inspiration in some of your work or not.
Man, it has been a wonderful journey because I met her in college, and the first time I met her, she didn't like me, and I give her great reasons not to, because I was like, I'm a filmmaker, and so her guidance counselor was my film teacher, and he had this rule that, hey, if you're my film student, just come in anytime you want, show me your work, I'll look at it, right? So she was in there talking about her life and what she had going on, and here I come with my little short film. Hey, Tony, here's my short film. She's looking at me like, who the hell are you to come into my meeting? And then I'm like, what do you mean? There's nothing more important than my film. I came here to talk about my movie. So she didn't like me, but long story short, through some weird circumstances, I ended up at her house like 2 years later shooting a project. And in that moment, she looked at me and she looked at what I was trying to do, and she did something for me that none of my friends had done up to that point. And from there, I was like, hey, what's your name? What's your number? The rest of it. And then before you know it, we were off. She was just a girl who found what I was trying to do interesting and didn't care that it was messy. Because any girl at that point where I was like, oh yeah, I'm an artist, I'm doing this. And then when I tell them the reality of being an artist, and I'm always upfront, I'm like, that means I'm poor. It means I'm going to be poor for a long time. It means this and that. They were like, oh, that's nice. And then I'm okay, I'm out, which I appreciate. But Amber, she was like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds fun. Like, her and I used to shoot $50 music videos in the hood. And what that used to look like is she would get off work, pick me up. We'll drive to some random hood in the middle of nowhere, meet a rapper, shoot a $50 music video, but only end up getting paid $10 because the rapper didn't have the full, like, crazy. So I'm watching this girl just follow me along the journey, and the older we got and the further we went along, it just was easy for me to just continue to bring her closer, closer, and closer into what I'm doing, to the point where now we work so well together. The handoff is like seamless. We don't know where one ends and where the other begins, which ultimately leads to the fact that if I need to write a story, what better female to pull from than her? Because I've known her since it feels like we've been together since we were kids. So yeah, it just makes working with her really, really, really easy. Yeah.
So I'm assuming no more music videos for you then.
Oh no more $50 music videos. Absolutely not. Dude, man, I wish I could have spent more time to talk about that, because that $50 music video was a great idea when I thought about it. But dude, after like 300 videos of rappers being like, you know what I'm saying, sound like finna, you know what I'm saying, we finna eat, sound like when we blow up, finna, I'ma break you off, feel me, like, hey, but here I'm gonna give you like $5, you know what I'm saying, like when you come back, we're gonna flip it, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, I got you, fam, you know what I'm saying, yeah. And I'll be like there, I'll sit there and look at, I'm like, okay, our gas tank is empty, how are we gonna get home? And then here's $5, and we're still hungry, and we still gotta eat. How? And I gotta go tell Amber, like, what? Mm-hmm. So yeah, no more $50 music videos for sure.
Nah.
Yeah.
But those moments led you to where you are now and where you're headed to next.
It definitely did. Like, seriously, practically speaking, because we were shooting so many videos for a short period of time, it really allowed me and Amber to hone our skills and refine our process. Like, for sure, undoubtedly. Right. Yep.
Okay. So, I know that you're influenced by the likes of Alfred Hitchcock and Christopher Nolan. Mm. Like, dream project, any project that someone else has done that you wish you could have done.
Oh my God. Okay, if you, I'm not even gonna touch Dark Knight, so let's leave that alone. But I say the movie Birds by Alfred Hitchcock, and I hope I'm not messing up the name, but it's Birds, because what he did in that movie was take an ordinary thing, like you see birds every single day, but he took an ordinary, innocent thing and made it absolutely terrifying. Like, I want to do that. I want to make people afraid of the thing that is not, like, if you breathe every single day, what if that becomes the problem? Like, he did that so well that I'm like, man, if I could make that movie, I've made it. So yeah, absolutely. It would be Alfred Hitchcock's Bird for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you should do something with turtles, because I always feel like turtles are the most peaceful beings. They don't bother nobody.
Until they choose to bother somebody, you find out.
They snap at you. But they're just moving at their own pace. Like,
right.
They poke their heads out occasionally, and they don't bother anyone. But yeah, if you intrude on their space, then they're gonna snap at you.
What would that look like if a turtle actually became hostile? Dude, that would be kind of crazy.
Yeah, so I want you to work on that. And then hit me up. Up and we'll promote it. So like as we prepare to close, like how do you stay so fit? And with all of the Nigerian delicacies like puff puff and jollof rice and a goosey soup and moi moi.
Man.
Accra.
Man. Do you know that most of the stuff you just mentioned are very starch based and carb based, which is like the exact enemy of trying to be fit and have six packs and all of that stuff. And they're so delicious. Mm-hmm. I love them so much. It's been a very difficult thing to not just deal with personally, because I love the food. I love food. Like, I love food. Like I think at my biggest, I was 215 pounds, and that might not sound like a lot, but my natural set point is like 160, so that's like 50 pounds away from where I need to be. So it was a lot. But I started this like fitness journey because I knew and still know that for me to play the roles in our movies that I want to play, I want to look like the people that inspired me: Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, not the biggest, most jacked person. I just know if you want to play a hero, you gotta kind of look the part. So it's been challenging to go on a fitness journey, and I've been on it since 2021. And to just tell my family, oh, sorry, I can't eat jollof rice, because they don't understand. Like, it doesn't make sense. What? Educate? You're not gonna eat jollof rice? You're not gonna eat soup? Are you okay? What's wrong with you? And by the way, we see you're getting skinny and skinny. You look like you're sick and people are worried about you. My friend, take the food, put it on the plate. Shut up and sit down and eat before I come over there and feed you myself. So then I have to be like, okay, mama, all right, no problem. I'll eat. Hey, you better eat everything on your plate. Okay, mama. I can't just try. You are trying what? You are trying what? Eat, my friend. Don't shame us like we're not feeding you.
So you don't have a cheat day? One day where you can pig out?
Yeah, no. I've basically, after a while, I've kind of figured out a way to have a balanced life, because when I was first trying to figure out fitness, it was like all or nothing, which is kind of how I approach a lot of things that I'm doing new. Is like I just you got to commit and you got to go all the way in and just see what it is. Right. But after seeing fitness for what it is, the whole landscape, now I eat like a normal person now. I say from Monday through Saturday, even to Friday, I have a clean, my diet is there, my workouts are there. But Saturday, Sunday, that's when I interact with the family, so I don't even bring it up anymore. So just whatever. And then no one worries about me anymore, because they all see, as long as I'm in their presence and I'm eating that food, we're good, So yeah, that's how it's shaped up.
Cool. What's something about you that people would find most surprising?
I think it depends on where you know me from. If you see me online, I might look like a very always energetic person, and I can absolutely be that way. I'm Nigerian, like I can always be on 10. But honestly, most of the time I'm a quiet artist. I'm observant. I much rather be in the back of the classroom than in front of the classroom. Like I want to be in a place where I observe life more than I'm in the front presenting life, So I think that would be surprising to most people. Like, oh my God, he's like, when people have interacted with me, like at the gym or anything like that, like most of the time I'm the guy with the hoodie on, covered up in the corner lifting weights. I'm not the shirt off guy lifting the biggest weight you've ever seen. So I think that's probably surprising to people when they meet me.
All right. So besides Whispers Bind, what other projects do you have coming down the pipeline?
I have an action, I'm going to call it action horror, because the subject deals with horror, but it's an action movie. Like, it's an action movie that I hope on an independent level will make my idols proud of me, like the people I grew up watching. And I've been writing that movie since 2020, and I'm constantly evolving it as I'm growing as a writer. I'm also growing that movie. So that's my next movie, is currently titled Broken Ethos. And I hope that people who love action movies will turn up for this one and have a good time with it.
Oh, great. Broken Ethos. Yeah. All right, so
yes.
All right, so feel free to plug where we can find you, Paradox Universe, and of course where we can watch Whispers Bind in a couple weeks.
So you can find me easiest on Instagram. I am active on Instagram. You can send me a DM. I will talk to you. I will respond to you. If you've watched the movie, you've seen anything, just let me know. I'm always open to talk. And then if you just want to go straight and find the movie, find it on Roku, find it on Samsung TV, find it on Fawesome, and eventually it's going to be on Tubi. It's going to be everywhere. So that's where you can watch, my movies, and that's where you can talk to me. So
All right. Whispers Bind, actually out today. And,
go check it out. Go check it out.
Joseph Mbah, it's been a pleasure learning more about your journey, about the $50 music videos, about having discipline enough to not eat all of the amazing Nigerian delicacies, and working with your wife. So yeah, this was fun, and much success to you, continued success. We're rooting for you, and feel free to come back anytime.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for having me. This has been a pleasure and a blast, and you had exceptional, awesome questions, man. Thank you.
All right, yeah. Like I said, this was a good one.
Awesome.
You have amazing energy, and
thank you.
I'm looking forward to checking out the film. So for Stop,
Awesome.
Look, and Listen, I'm your host, LeTroy Gardner. See you next week. Peace and blessings.